Hey, this is Beckley Mason, host of HoopSpeak Live. I'm here with Zach Julicious Harper and Ethan Sherwood Strauss, and who are off camera right now, but they are here, I swear. And we're talking about a few different things today. We've got Paul Flannery in. He's going to talk about the Celtics, who are really one of the weird teams this year, and one of the weirdest players in the NBA, Rajon Rondo. And we're also going to talk with Mike Procopio, who is a hoops consultant to guys like Kobe Bryant in the NBA, and I think he's going to have a really, really interesting perspective. So that's what we're going to be talking about to start. And why don't we bring Ethan in here to talk about Oracle Arena, one of the real gems of the NBA, although the Warriors are often not exactly diamonds.
Oh.
I know, and Zach, he shakes his head like a grumpus, but look, this was a life-altering experience from a few days ago. I'm still buzzing from it. It was so fun. In a third quarter timeout, the cheerleaders or the dancers were kind of dancing around, and out of nowhere, Too Short just shows up at center court doing blow the whistle, and the whole arena goes nuts. People are like shaking the dreads and like throwing the fizz faces out like it's fun. Oh, I almost cursed right there. Because, like, it's 2005, and it was so fun. And then afterwards, Dave Chappelle just randomly appeared in the locker room. Apparently, he was in the midst of canceling on Mark Maron, so while that disappoints me, I was more than happy to see him in the locker room. I'm more than happy to see Nate Robinson scream lines from Half-Baked in Dave Chappelle's face, and then rush over and jump on him. It was just what a time. What a carnival for the eyes and ears. Fantastic.
So basically, Nate Robinson is exactly how you would expect him to be off the court.
Oh, yeah, he is. No one is more of a Nate Robinson than Nate Robinson. He is the loudest person I've ever met in my entire life. I have been doing interviews in the locker room, and the whole shower area and all that is in a separate room. And from that area, I've had interviews interrupted where I've had to restart because he is yelling so loudly. And he's yelling loudly at somebody who's in that shower area. It's not back out at the locker room. He has that kind of vocal range. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And if anybody else was doing it, it would be annoying.
Is it like when we get an echo on here and you can't like ask questions anymore, so where you have to completely start out? Like, do you ask the exact same questions over, or do you just pause and then continue on?
Well, yes, it's that, and it's also when I listen to it on the recorder afterwards. I'm asking a question. The guy goes, "Well, we got to take it one day at a time." Nate Robinson completely wipes out whatever is said. So it's that.
That's pretty awesome. Nate is famous for having an outsized. How tall do you think he actually is?
I think that he's a little bit shorter than you are. I don't really.
That's a good reference point for our viewers.
Yeah. So what? That's roughly like.
Yeah. Well, everybody knows your height.
3/4 of an inch right
now. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows the deal with Beckley's height.
I think he's like 5'8", soaking wet.
Yeah. Well, wait. Why?
I don't
soaking
think being wet makes you taller, but I may be wrong on that. I feel like that term is usually used for weight. But I think you say 5'8" in platforms or something.
Well,
all right. Well,
funny,
you'll have a chance to. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that it is funny how our watching on TV screws up our perspective. One of the reasons why I don't think about his height that often is because he seems like a regular human being to me. I mean, we talk about how Steph Curry looks like he's in middle school and looks like a little kid. When you actually talk to him in person, he's a 6'2" dude. It's just next to those men in the NBA, those superhero guys, he looks like
sleeveless jean vests on and Timberland boots. So.
I would like that look for Nate Robb. All right, let's. So here's a little background on today's Take the Bacon, which is, all right. So Joe Johnson was going to be in the All-Star game. He got bounced, and instead Rajon Rondo was brought in, and neither of us are. I'm okay with that, but Zach and I think that there were some other very good alternatives. So for this week's Take the Bacon, we are going to be talking about who we would have rather seen in the All-Star game instead of Rajon. And I'm going to start, and my selection is another point guard from the East, and it's Kyrie Irving. I know he was hurt for a little bit, but this guy can really, really play. He had 17 in the fourth in an epic comeback just last night, or maybe the night before. He's posting a huge PER of above 20, and I know Zach's going to argue it, he's got a higher PER than a center, and a center who's very good, which is incredible. He's only playing 29 minutes a night, but he is a very special guard, and if he was playing 35, he would, I think, be a no-brainer all-star.
Kyrie's been very good. I think he's a fantastic player. I think if we were going all-stars on just one end of the court, then I would have no problem with Kyrie being selected. We had a little agreement that we weren't going to go with Tyson Chandler because everybody wants to pick Tyson Chandler. And so I want to talk about Ray Allen and why I think he's the best fit for this team because, you know, he helped carry Boston when Paul Pierce wasn't quite right and KG. But you know what? I'm not going to talk about Ray Allen. It should be Tyson Chandler.
Oh,
there's no other answer. There's no other answer to Tyson Chandler. I'm not just pandering to Ethan. He's the best defensive player in the league this year. He's spacing on offense, keeps that team running. There's no reason why Tyson Chandler should not be on this All-Star team.
All right, well, if we're going to talk about pandering to Ethan, no one is pandering to Ethan like I am right now. When I say Kyrie Irving is not Chris Paul light, he is not Chris Paul part 2. He is a whole different. He's going to be the guy who in 5 years when another great point guard comes out, we say he's the next Kyrie Irving. And I think that he is a super special thing. You know what, Ethan, I want you to also know this. I think he's just a great guy. I think that, what he's done for the city of Cleveland, he's really helped them move on. And I think that, his maturity and his gentle spirit are also worth noting here. That he's really just a great kid. And he's 19. I'm talking over you.
That's fine. Tyson Chandler is the next Ekpe Udoh. How about that? That's pandering.
You two, both of you are ridiculous. I am going to give it to Beckley, so let's just get that out of the way.
Joke.
I thought
That's a joke.
Look, and I agree with Zach on it should be Tyson Chandler, but I just think that as the point was argued, your misdirection, while it was sneaky, was also strange because I think if you had gone with KG as your sneak attack, as perhaps secretly the Celtics' best player who doesn't. And Beckley's on fire as well. That's another that definitely added to the decision. I have to get that out of the way. But if you had gone with KG, I would have been more inclined to respect that sneak attack. But you can't go with a guy who has a 15 PER like Ray Allen as your misdirection. Come on.
I would love to go with Kevin Garnett, but he retired last year. They replaced him with an imposter. It's not the actual Kevin Garnett. He's off in Malibu, sipping Mai Tais or whatever you drink in Malibu.
Wait, you know what I think, Zach, what you should have said with Chandler is that he has, for the second straight year, the highest offensive rating in the NBA, and his defensive rating is 97, which is the same as LeBron's. Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing he has the biggest spread in offense rating and defensive rating, which is just ridiculous. And yes, he should be in the All-Star game. I wholeheartely agree with you.
I got really worried after you said biggest.
Offensive rating isn't it? That's just how many points they score when he's on the court. That's a clean stat.
It's a bad stat because it's bad for individuals. If you compare it to what the team's average is, then I think it gets a little more valid. But just on its own, he's got a 97 PER or defensive rating. That doesn't mean anything.
No, but I'm saying his offensive rating is ridiculous. He's as you said, what he does for them offensively is.
All right, fine. Well, Tyson Chandler,
another day we'll argue about that.
Just watching him play defense is incredible, and B, the Knicks are a good defensive team somehow, despite having just the worst defensive players imaginable at this point. They're really asking.
No one's as good
for him
at
to fill
celebrating a dunk as Tyson Chandler. He celebrates a dunk like none other. That guy yells like it's Sean Kemp.
Yeah, Chandler throws down the lobs. He is gnarly.